Finish him.
What up, what up, what up? What up, y'all? This your boy, leader of the flock, T-Fly, but you already know that. Man, look at me here. I'm going back to my roots. I'm going back to my roots, daddy-o. You see me playing some wrestling, man. So everybody who been inboxing me, hitting me on Twitter and all that other good old stuff saying, man, when you gonna go back to the wrestling games, man? That's the one, that's what puts you on the map. I said, man, why wouldn't I? You know what? I have been kind of neglecting these wrestling games. My thing is, I don't like any of the new ones. So, you know me, I got to go back to the classics, you know. But don't get it twisted for a second. I do review these bad ones too, the ones that were bad, as you know, even for yesterday's times, it was some bad ones, just like it's some good ones. You know, when I do these reviews on these wrestling games, I don't get on any specific topics and stuff like that. I stay true to the game, and I just discuss my takes on the game in comparison to the other ones that were released, you know, either before, during the same time, or even after. Because believe it or not, you may not want to believe it, those of you are too young to remember or know any of this. A lot of these older wrestling games are better than the ones that are out now. You know, for example, WWE 12. That game is so glitchy and, you know, bad. The mechanics are so bad on that game. I play one of these before I play that game any day, and I own that game. I think I've done maybe one video on that game, but you know, I try to keep it true though. But anywho, I'm busting out the N64. Yes, and if you saw my game and setup video, you know that I actually have an N64 that I play these games on and recording with. No, this is not an emulator. I do not do emulator. Every system that has these games, trust me, I own them. So with that being said, this is WCW versus nWo World Tour. I believe this was released back in 1997. Like I said before, the N64. These THQ Akai games, man, were like the best of its kind. And if you go back to some of my older videos, man, and see how people got really butthurt over me criticizing Warzone, I don't know why they got so mad, because maybe they just didn't play the same game I was playing. I paid $70 for Warzone, and I felt like they should have paid me to play that game at times. First thing people say, oh, well, it was the best game. It was one of the best games because it introduced Creator Wrestler. Big deal. Doesn't matter. The game was bad. Anytime you play and you have to do like physics, mechanics, you know, button configurations and stuff like that to do a move, man, this ain't Street Fighter, baby. You know what I mean? Come on. We ain't trying to do that, man. I ain't trying to do no button configurations to pull off no move, boy. Come on. Let's do it right, buddy. That's all. And they did it wrong. They dropped the ball on it. But enough of that weak-ass game. I'm going to talk about this right here, because this was actually a well-developed, you know, timed game. I mean, the mechanics were simple. You know, it was basically about timing, and, you know, you couldn't just go in doing all the big moves. You had to, like, work your way and get your opponent. You can work on specific body parts, and it showed when you worked on, if you constantly dropped him on his head, you would see him grabbing his head. So when you went to put him in a submission hold, like i.e. a sleeper or whatever move that affects his head, he's more likely to, you know, to give up. And he got the spirit meter, so the more moves you pull off, you know, the more likely, as you can see, he gave up. The more likely you are to pull off bigger moves. That's including your special moves. So on that note, man, I gotta grade this game. I'm gonna give it a B minus. That's all I got. I'm out your ear. Yeah. Oh yeah, shout out to Benjamin for keeping me on my toes too.